What's going on? You locked in with the Innovators YouTube. You already know I got the best interviews right here, man. I got my guy Kingfish in the building, Wichita, Kansas. What's poppin'?
What's up with it, man? What's happening?
How you doing?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. First, I want to say it's a pleasure and a blessing to have you here. I appreciate you coming through today.
Man, I appreciate you having me here today, man.
Just to start off, let the people know where they can find you on social media.
And you can find me on IG at King_Fish16 and all over the streaming platforms. Just type Kingfish and I'll pull up.
Let's talk about growing up in Wichita, Kansas. Like, what was that like?
Growing up in Wichita, Kansas, man, it was cool. It's like every other big city. You know what I'm saying? When people hear Kansas, they think KC right off the rip, and we not KC. You know what I'm saying? KC is actually 2.5 hours north of where I'm from. So Wichita is like smack dead in the middle of Kansas, and everything come through there. So we get a little bit of everything. And it's just like anywhere else that's big city.
How would you describe Wichita to someone that's never been there?
And I would tell them, don't go to Wichita playing crazy. I would tell somebody that ain't never been to Wichita to just mind their business. If you ain't got no business in Wichita, just like I do when I go anywhere. When I go to LA or Chicago or Miami, I mind my business. People who I f with don't get lost in the sauce because it's not nowhere to be playing. You know what I'm saying? It's treacherous in Wichita.
Do you feel like people sleep on Wichita when it comes to people, like you said, people talk about Kansas City, like KC mode, like all that, but people be sleep on Wichita. Like, why do you think that is?
Man, as far as what the music scene or
the music scene.
Well, I feel like Wichita ain't never really had no buzz. Like I say, when I say Wichita, they don't know what I'm talking about. I say Kansas, they say OKC, but that's just a lack of the artists working together. The artists in the city is talented. We got hella talent in Wichita. It's hella talent. Like it's hella talented artists working. But the thing is, it's divided because of the politics and the gang banging and the they bring to the wax. They got the artists divided. Ain't nobody working together. There's no real support. Ain't no support in my city. You see what I'm saying? Within each other. So that's what's keeping us from being able to get to the next level and get ourselves seen and get ourselves heard to the masses like they do everywhere else. Everywhere else you look, people come together, support. They pull up to shows and video shoots and they get on songs and they do all that with the artists, the up and coming artists, all that. But I don't be seeing that at my city. So
how do you think that can change, or will it change? Like,
I feel like the artists that's working and want to see that change got to start with themselves. So that's what I'm doing. I just did a project that was just solely me. I ain't had no features, but I make it known all the time. I'm willing to work with artists, whoever working, we can work. Get in my box, you know what I'm saying? We can work, and we just got to come together and support each other. I just invited all the artists out to my album release party over the weekend. So a couple artists pulled up, but it got to be like that going on where we all just coming together, working with each other, and I feel like it'll pop.
Nah, I agree with you though. It definitely takes sometimes it takes someone pushing the initiative and showing like, man, we can all do this and be cool and have unity. You feel me? You said you invited people to your album release. Like that's definitely a good start in that direction. Is there how okay, so in the Bay, people be like, I'm from Oakland or I'm from Richmond. It's hella pride in your area, whatever. Is it it's like that in Kansas as far as the Wichita people we from Wichita and the Kansas City people nah, we from KC
Nah, for sure. It's pride just like that. They represent that to the fullest, the town and the dub everywhere we go, because it's right there in the middle. So come through Kansas to get anywhere you going, they come through there, they stop through Wichita, and we go everywhere. We burst out everywhere out that. So they prideful about that. You know what I mean?
Can you talk about how you grew up? Was your parents around? What was that like?
My parents was around for sure. My parents is young, they just barely in their 40s. So I had younger parents. I was raised with my grandparents. You know what I mean? So I was getting a lot of the old school game. My grandma had me in church every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, the choir, all that.
Now, a lot, I would same here. A lot of us,
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of us would be able to.
yeah. So
They got thrown in the choir.
yeah, so yeah, so that's how it was. I was walk to school, school up the street, right in the hood from the crib. Everything was everything. So, and I stayed right in the center of it, out in my city, right in the north side. So it was cool, man. Having my grandparents for sure helped me though. You know.
Did you ever feel like it was different to live with your grandparents, or that they was like so involved in your life?
I feel like it was different.
Or like, you know, like, I mean, I had my mom and dad, but like I did spend a lot of time with my grandparents too. But you was actually living with
I
your
lived it.
grandparents.
Yeah, I lived with them. Like, nah, like, cause see, my parents both had cribs. Like, my parents wasn't together. My mama had a crib, my pops had a crib, and I go back and forth. But I actually liked being at my grandparents. You know what I mean? That was my crib. That's where, if I had a choice, that's where I wanted to go. Was with my grandparents. So it was just, it was like a normal thing to me. That's just what I was used to it from jump. You know, they had me.
As far as the street politics and being in the streets, is that something you ever got into, like, or you kind of stayed away from that?
Man, that shit was always around. Like, you know, growing up, we was forced to be in it. Wichita is only so big. You know, you can get anywhere from any side of town, north, east, south, west, in 10 minutes.
That's
Anywhere.
crazy.
You can get, so you do something to some at the north side and try to go to the south side, they'll be over there in 10 minutes. So everything was like super close. Everybody know everybody. So it was a normal thing. All the high schools. And so growing up, yeah. But I was always getting money though. You know what I mean? I was always getting money to where and everybody from my city know that about me. I was always getting money and around the I was getting money trying to be somewhere where it was some players going on.
Yeah.
I wasn't giving a fuck about no, you know what I mean? To where I knew that's not what I was trying to do. So yeah, I guess I stayed on the other side of that.
What was it that was like when you was young? I was like, man, I'm trying to get to the bread. You feel me? Like, everybody not like that. I'm starting to realize that more and more as we get older. Some still not like that, but
Bro,
like,
because like we didn't really have like my pops, and we don't come from money, but my pops always had money, but he didn't we didn't come from it. He had to work for it, he had to grind for it, and he didn't give us. They thought we was spoiled growing up, but we really wasn't spoiled. Like my pops, he got us all the, but at the same time he taught us the true value of the dollar. Like, let us break a game. You know how long it took him to replace that game?
yeah.
I don't even know if it ever got replaced. You see what I'm saying? Like, or break a cell phone or
Yeah.
something, like they don't get replaced. So I always knew I needed to have my own because I wanted my paper. I wanted my when I wanted it. I was always like that. I don't want to wait on pops to go get no money or to somebody to give me something. I didn't want to wait on none of that. I wanted my. And he taught me that though. I'm like, damn, why I gotta wait? Why I can't go to the skating ring? Why I can't go to the batting cages or somewhere? You ain't got no money.
Yeah.
He told me that you ain't got no money.
Yeah.
I always knew I needed some paper. Period.
As far as like your childhood, you was a good kid, you was a bad kid. What was that like?
I feel like I was a great kid. I had straight A's at one point in
Oh, that's
school.
what's up.
Yeah, when I got to high school, that was my thing. Like, my pops was on me. Like, man, I wouldn't change nothing about that situation I had with that guy. He was on me about my to where, you know, he'll let me have so much freedom if I just did right in school. He knew I was smart. He knew I wasn't crazy to where if I got the grades, he stayed off my ass. I could do whatever I wanted in the streets. I can go do whatever I wanted to do after school and shit. So,
Yeah.
and I liked it that anyway. It wasn't hard. You know, school was good. School is good. That kept me out of trouble.
Nah,
And
for
it was
sure.
easy, so I wasn't up when I was a kid too much, you know, until I got older.
Like, what stuff did you like growing up doing for fun in Wichita? Like, like what y'all do for fun? Like when y'all was growing up?
I played football. I played little league football. I played bitty basketball. You know, we got the sports is big in Kansas.
Nah, for sure.
Kansas
I
sports
know
is
that
big
for
and
sure.
shit. So yeah, I played football and shit. We traveled to Oklahoma's and Texas and shit, and We did some traveling. They started doing big traveling. Now they start going to Florida and Cali and everywhere.
Oh yeah,
Not when I was younger, they didn't do that shit.
But now they like traveling all
around. But shit, I did that, man. I played sports and shit like all the other kids. We was in the streets playing basketball, 21, linking up at the park, scrapping at the park, all that type shit.
Yeah. How do you feel about the Kansas music scene right now?
Man, the Kansas music scene is getting off the ground for real, for real. Like I say, if you go anywhere in the world and say Kansas, they ain't gonna know. They don't know us. But shit, if we keep working and motherfuckers keep on pulling up, popping up, doing events, doing podcasts, going to showcases, or just going where DJs is at, DJ retreats, just doing what they got to do, put the groundwork in, and keep working and keep grinding, and we do it as a whole, and we come together, I feel like we'll get to the next level. I feel like it'll pop in, but that's what it's gonna take. Some.
Has networking always been like important to you? Is that something you've always wanted to do?
That's everything, because it's not what you know, it's who you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know how to directly get in touch with y'all to get here on your platform. I had to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I had a connection. You see, so and that comes from networking. You see what I'm saying? To where networking is don't burn bridges. I'm not a bridge burner. You know what I mean? People be burning bridges and shit. And you never know who you gonna need, or what you gonna need them for. I've been knowing Nano for the last damn near 3 years, but we didn't meet each other for real until like just last year.
For real.
Yeah.
Now I got you.
You see what I'm saying? But you can't be fucking up relationships though, because you never know when something gonna click.
Yeah.
Or when you gonna, so networking is hella big. Yeah.
The name Kingfish, like, how did you come up with that?
That's just my name. Fisher is my name, so Fisher is my last name. So growing up, they always call me Fish. That's what they call my older cousins, my pops, my grandpa, and a whole long line of them. So I'm really in the family. They don't call me Kingfish. They call me Goldfish, because I'm really the small one. I'm really the baby fish.
Damn.
But on some real shit. Yeah, it's a whole long line of them. but shit, I'm Kingfish. When I started rapping, I just put the king on it just because shit. Just ran with that. I didn't want no big creative, crazy name. I just stuck with my own shit.
How did you get into making music?
Shit, man, we been making music since we was young. My sister and my little brother for real was the main ones doing that shit. We've been doing music since, man, elementary, like recording on just a computer and having a headset from whatever my pops had hooked up to that old ass desktop, to where we was recording on that. My sister was burning that shit off, bro, and we been fucking around, but I never thought about being an artist seriously, bro, until like 2019, 2020,
Was there a moment for you where you decide, like, yeah, I'm about to take this serious?
Shit, when I started dumping my money into that shit. When it's spending money in it, bro, being independent, like, that shit is not cheap. You gotta actually buy your beats. If you go into the studio, it's studio time. And then you gotta promote it. And then you gotta buy an advertisement. And you gotta do all of this shit. You gotta you gotta grind. So it's like shit. When you doing all that, you investing your energy and your time into this shit, like, you gotta be for real. You can't be bullshitting or what it's gonna be in vain. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's when I decided back like 2020, when I first started. I've been doing this shit official. I've been fucking with Nano and fucking with my engineers that I've been fucking with since the jump. You see what I'm saying? Shout out Bodies in Atlanta, man. He do my music. He the one that be mixing my shit. So
yeah. Nah, I got you on that for sure. And now, like today, you feel like a rapper for sure.
Yeah, like today, I've been treating myself like an artist. Like shit, I don't be doing bullshit that I know I ain't supposed to do. Like I try my best to stay out of trouble, shit, and I stay out the way and just stay in the studio, I stay recording. I stay in my own studio. I got my own in-house studio. I stay in there recording. You know what I mean? Just stay doing some musical shit, listening to beats and shit.
Was it important for you to like get your own studio? And because a lot of people would tell me that's like the cheat code for any artist is to invest in getting their own studio.
Yeah, bro, that is definitely a cheat code. Like I always had the cheat codes to the music. Like I feel like because I listened to the ones that came before me, so get my own studio. Yeah, my big brother 80 told me that from jump. Like, he had his own studio. He got his own studio. We recorded Uncut Game 1 and 2 in his studio. To where when I started recording my own shit, I knew that's what I wanted. I knew I needed my own shit because I already don't like recording in big studios. I feel more comfortable at my shit, you know what I'm saying? I come up with my music at my own pace. I ain't rushed or feeling like somebody, over my head or anything like that. It's important to have your own studio for sure. Especially if you're an independent artist without no push. Ain't nobody backing you like that, you know what I mean? So you can work on your shit in your own time, in your own comfort zone and shit.
As far as like recording yourself, like how did you learn about like Pro Tools or whatever, like you're recording and getting your voice to sound right? Like how did you learn all that?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Ado taught me that shit. He taught me about the how to do the knobs. I got a Focusrite. Well, I started with Focusrite to where he told me how to do the how to check my vocals and shit, how to hit the space bar, do my shit, how to make sure my levels and shit was right. He taught me the whole shit, bro, and it didn't take me no time. Like I said, we recorded Uncut Game. We recorded ourselves. So shit, I learned it right there, and I've been doing it like that the whole time. All my tapes I've been doing like that, except for like one tape that I recorded before I ever dropped. I recorded at a big studio, but I ain't even put the music out and shit, so.
Yeah. Why did you decide to never put that project out?
Bro, I didn't like the music, bro. I just wasn't feeling it. It wasn't like I didn't have a sound. I was just recording, it was me, but shit, I just didn't like it at the time. You know what I mean? Shit, I didn't feel like it was it.
How hard was it for you to find your sound?
Shit, it's not too hard. I be at the crib, so I be in there trying shit, and my whole household be hearing me do that shit. So I'll just be in there just fucking around, and when I like something, if I find something I like, I run with that.
You just dropped a new project, top of the year, January 1st, The Chosen One.
Yeah.
What was the mindset for that project?
The Chosen One, man. I just felt like I was the chosen one, from my city, from my era, from my section, you know what I'm saying, from the motherfuckers where I come from, just to be able to make it out that inner city bullshit, be able to get around and do things that people see, that people want to do, giving people something to believe in, something to look up to, especially my younger ones and the people that look up to me and shit, Shit, I just put on. I felt like I was the chosen one, so I named it that.
You dropped the song King of the City. You feel like you the king of Wichita?
Man, when it comes to certain shit with this music shit, for sure, because I don't see too many people grinding like me out the city, man, when it comes to, just, I ain't trying to belittle or make myself bigger than the city at all, but when it comes to, just being an independent grind and representing yourself and just being all in for yourself, not having too many people backing you, standing on your own 10 for your own entity. Yes, I feel like it's me. You know what I mean? I'm the chosen one, the king of the city, whatever they want to call it. And I feel like everybody should be getting on that type of time. And I feel like we'll pop if they do.
Nah, I feel that for sure. What would you say the mindset was for the project?
Man, well, I was recording hella songs. I had hella songs. Like, I didn't just sit up and record that whole project new. I record periodically all the time and shit. I just had hella songs. But then I had recorded a few of them back to back, and I was just like, shit, let me put a project out at the top of the year, with some videos and shit. I had shot my videos. I just wanted to drop. I just wanted to hit the ball, hit it rolling, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you dropped it on first day of the year.
Yeah, with hella videos too. 8, 9 videos done. I still got some put up in the loft. I'm finna drop in a couple weeks to that album. Finna shoot some more off of it because it's 16 songs, so shit.
Was that on purpose?
Yeah, that was on purpose.
Okay, I figured.
Yeah.
Now, when you was recording this process, like you made like 50 songs and you went through it, like how did you even decide what songs or when they was gonna go? Like,
man, like the way I really had went through and just listened to all of them And I was just like, okay, just going through. I had been doing it for weeks and weeks and weeks. Weeks and weeks and weeks, riding around listening to them songs. For weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. That tape been done.
Yeah.
So then I just decided I want these songs on there. I want these songs to play. That's how it took me a minute to figure out. It was a long process. Then when I finally got home, I was like, all right, I sat and listened to them again and found out my order. And that first song with me and my daughter talking on the intro, Bodies had called me and was like, record something real quick, record an intro, whatever you're doing right now. I'm like, man, I'm at Walmart with my daughter, bro. I gotta wait till I get to the crib, to my studio and shit. He like, nah, bro, just pull your phone out and send it to me. I can put it on there. I'm like, bro, he like, it's gonna be dope for the album. So shit, I just pulled my phone out and did that, bro. We was in the checkout line at Walmart and shit. And I recorded some little shit. I talked to him and sent it to him, and he put it on there. So I made the intro.
Yeah.
And then shit, the other songs I had them.
Raising Cane's.
Raising Cane's, bro. That song, I just named it that because I felt like it stood out. But I actually like Raising Cane's. It's a food joint in Dallas.
Nah, I'm familiar.
Yeah, that shit is hard.
Yeah, nah.
I fuck with it. We don't got one in Wichita, so when I got to Texas and got on that shit, I was like, hell yeah, that shit dope. Fire.
I see you got an album with Pooh Hefner.
Yeah, The Players Palace. Me and Hef, like I say, man, for real, Hef was one of the first rap niggas outside of my city I ever bumped into. You know what I'm saying? I was a fan of his music before I bumped into him. Bumped into him on some street shit to where when I bumped into him, I immediately wanted to show him my music. But I hadn't really had no real music at the time. I was like, shit, bro, this is my music and shit. And he liked it, bro, to where the next day he was finna go to the studio in Texas. He like, bro, come to the studio with me. And shout out Scooter P2, my nigga Scooter. That's who I went to the club with. He introduced me to Hef and shit.
Yeah.
To where we recorded at the studio, bro. We recorded hella songs, like 3 or 4. I put 2 of them on the tape.
Yeah.
The last one and it was one of them, but I know the last one for sure. But he Hef a real nigga, man. We recorded that shit, and then bro he turned me on to Nano and told me like shit, fuck with Nano, bro. Now I got you the keys, like shit is, with all the shit, when you record whatever you gonna do, just call Nano. He got you, bro. That's who I call. I got you, and he turned me on, bro. Gave me a crazy connection, a crazy key.
Yeah.
That's been helping me this whole time. You know what I'm saying? So shit, that's how I got into that with that.
You also got From the Dub to the Bay.
Yep.
With Foley Beats, you feel me? Like,
yep, I found out about Foley on BeatStars. First time I found out about Foley was on BeatStars, but then I had hit him up. I had found him on the gram and hit him up, called him on video call and shit. Like, bro, I need some beats. He shot me like a whole 50 pack. Like, bro, just choose whatever you want. On God, show more love than any producer I ever had bumped into.
For real.
Swear, I never have met, bro. He just sent me all the beats and shit and let me choose my beats. I called him like, I want these beats. And he gave me a wicked ass deal for him, bro. Show hella love. And then that was that. We did the tape.
Nah, it's dope to see that because you already know, like, Kansas and the Bay, they've been locked in for a long time.
Actually, my boy 80, my brother 80, got a tape called Rose, bro. He got hella Bay artists on that motherfucker. And this was before I even was an artist. Like, I was still just listening to bro at this time. We wasn't even kicking in this shit, but he had Blow on there. He had Stylin' and Messy Marv. He had Mr. Fab. He had Am Pacino. He had some motherfuckers on that motherfucker, bro. A whole tape full of Bay artists to the back, to the town, to the dub.
No, you already, like, the Bay and Kansas, that shit been locked in for the longest, time, like, bro. For sure.
Oh,
nah, so it's good to see that connection for sure. What have been some of the pros and cons of just being an independent artist?
Man, it's more pros than cons for real. Because, like I say, just being independent, I don't owe nobody nothing. Like, I ain't got nothing to worry about. Like, I can do what I want to do. I can drop when I want to drop. I can record when I want to record. I just got control over my whole shit. So that's a pro. But the only con I would say is just you gotta, if you don't do it, it ain't gonna get done. You know what I mean? You gotta do that shit, bro. You gotta get up, you gotta post that post, you gotta make that ad, you gotta get up, call them people, you gotta make sure that this shit lined up. Because if you don't, it's not gonna fall through. Then the moment you give up, you lost. So you gotta keep your shit going. You know what I mean? You gotta have a crazy mindset, bro. You gotta be working, bro. You gotta not give a fuck about what they talking about none of the. You know, you gotta. If you ain't like that, it ain't gonna work. Being independent, you better sign quick for whatever amount of money they got too. Shit, independent shit ain't gonna work.
Is that something you would consider at some point signing?
Nah, I mean, yeah, I would, bro, if it was for the right amount of money. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, I would sign in because I know I'm gonna get more exposure. I'm gonna get more exposure. That's the only reason why I really would sign for the exposure, because I ain't really looking for the paper to be. You know, I can work and earn my own paper. You know what I'm saying? Quick and easy, but I would sign for the exposure though if I can get. You know.
Yeah. How did people react to you when you first started getting into music, like taking it serious? You're a rapper now.
Well, shit, from the city, they fucked with it. And I shout out to my city, man, for fucking with me. And shout out to Janae Flavor, man, that she got a podcast in the city. She first lady I ever did an interview with, and it really turned me up in my city because she got that shit jumping. Like, if you want to know about music, media in the city, you got to tap in with Flavor. You know, that's who's going to turn you on to what's going on in Wichita. But she gave me my first interview and shit, called me up and had me come up and did an interview with me, and it got me popping. So they was fucking with me from the jump. So it was cool. I love the support.
What's been your experience on the music side? I mean, on the business side of the music industry, has it been like a lot of good business, bad business? How would you describe it?
It's been a lot of the business is straight because I came in the game, getting the business side first. Like, Ado, my brother, told me the business side from jump, like to LLC my shit, have my shit legit, get my business accounts, make sure my publishing and everything, my distribution and everything was right. He had laced me with that shit from jump, so I didn't really have to bump my head too much. I ain't really have too many hiccups because I was listening from Jump Street. I had the cheat codes.
Yeah.
So it's been cool. I found out how to get my money, shit, you know, and all that shit.
As far as like your studio process, what's that like?
I record myself. So 9 times out of 10 I record myself. I mean, I can go to the studio, but typically I get up, I listen to my beats, shit, roll me up some woods, and I just sit there and listen to my beat, and whatever come to my mind, I say that, I punch right in and say that, and get it right. 9 times out of 10 I get it right the first time. Shit, I just rap right there, just punch in, boom, line my shit up, because I know how to work Pro Tools, so I line that shit up, record that shit, and I send it off to Bodies. He'll send it right back to me, 20, 30 minutes, and I have a song.
As far as your beat selection, though, like what's that like? Any producers you rocking with specifically?
I'll be calling Nano to get the beats from me. He turned me on to Bullet Loco. Shout out Bullet Loco. I fuck with SC Trill from my city. You know, Midwest vet. He got hella songs, records with Bay artists too. You know what I'm saying? So SC Trill, we got hella records with each other. I fuck with Foley, and if I don't fuck with them, I be going to BeatStars, man. I be looking through BeatStars and shit. You know.
What's your opinion on leasing beats versus buying the exclusives?
Always buy the exclusive. Always buy the exclusive because it's gonna work out in the back end. You know what I'm saying? You can lease the beat. If you gotta lease the beat, lease the beat. But if you ain't got to, just if you can, get the exclusives or fuck with a producer who you got a relationship with all the time. Don't just be recording on anything.
Have you had any like situations with not buying the exclusive and some shit like that?
Hell yeah. One incident that I'll never forget, man, when they took my song off Apple Music, that She Make It Clap song that Soulja Boy got, that was my beat originally. I had that motherfucker.
Oh shit.
I had that motherfucker first, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I had got it off BeatStars. I had leased it. I didn't buy the exclusives. I don't know why I didn't. I didn't even click the button. I just clicked the lease button because it was a good price, and I had the money on my card.
You was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just copy this right.
I'm gonna copy it right quick, and I'll come back and buy the exclusives later on. I recorded that motherfucker, bro. Dropped the song, shot a video to it. It's on the internet right now. Ren and Stimpy on YouTube. Kingfish, Ren and Stimpy featuring MM40. But as soon as he dropped that shit, bro, he must have got the beat. I don't know, but they start emailing me and shit. Hella people from Empire Distribution and all type of places start emailing me and shit. I didn't look at
saying
it.
Like, you gotta take your shit
like,
down.
No, they was just like, you need to send us some licenses and shit, or you need to. I had read one,
because yours was out before.
Bro, I really wasn't even reading the emails, bro. And that's another thing about being independent, bro. Like, nobody's reading your emails. Nobody's giving a fuck, bro. Like, you gotta pay attention. So to where I ain't even called nothing or nothing. I ain't called nobody or nothing. I looked up one day and the song was off, bro. The song was down. I got millions of streams in my account on it. I can pull up on my shit, but they didn't come to me because shit, it didn't work out with the leasing and shit. So I learned a valuable lesson right there, bro.
Nah, that's a valuable lesson for sure.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's just like you go through that one time, you for sure not trying to go through that shit again, for sure.
Nah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I already know you on top of it now. Was it hard or for you to learn the business side of the music industry? Like,
shit, no, I'm still learning it. Honestly, I'm still learning. I just remain a student. You know, should I stay around people that I feel like know the music business shit? You know, I just learn it, but it ain't hard. You know, just pay attention, like anything else.
Yeah.
You know?
What do you think has changed the most, like, with you as an artist to go back to, you know, Uncut Game, you know, to look now to the Chosen One? Like, what do you think has changed in you as an artist?
Just like my work ethic, just me wanting to do it and me being comfortable doing it. You know what I mean? Just me being more in my artist mindset, me thinking like an artist, knowing that I need to be working. I need to be working. You need to be recording. You need to be trying to, you know, just having the more of an ethic to do this shit. That's probably gonna be, and then my sound too. My sound, like when I first dropped, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I got music that I ain't put out because I ain't like it. It wasn't my sound, but I feel like I done developed more of my artistry. Like I done developed more of I know my sound now, like how I want to come off on a track, or if I hear a certain beat, I know how I want to come off because I got the feedback from the people that listen to it now. You see what I'm saying? To where now I know which route I want to go in. You see what I'm saying? So that helped me out too.
Like, is it easy for you to accept other people's criticism?
Yes, I need that. That's important. I had to understand that early. Like, if you don't accept the criticism, how you gonna grow? Like, positive or negative. Like, you gotta know that you're not perfect, and shit, you always got room for improvement. You know, if somebody don't tell you, then how you gonna get better or what or whatever the fuck? Like, if you lacking in a position, you need to know.
Yeah. Nah, I feel you on that. I respect your mindset. I feel like more people need that mindset. I don't think everybody like that. Some people are like, you know, some people, niggas looking like, I don't want to tell them nothing about the song. I don't know how you gonna react to it. But
see, at my listening party, I had a paper with 5 stars under each song where you can just grade on the paper for
that's
me.
a good idea for sure.
You ain't gotta tell me, just write the stars. And I still got them. I still gotta go through that shit. I ain't even looked at it, but I looked at them, but not too much. But yeah. So that way I can get some real positive, you know, the real feedback.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nah, for sure. Especially if they don't have to say like who said what type shit.
You ain't gotta put your name on it or nothing.
You can talk about this if you want to, but can you talk about like is like Pimp Culture big in Wichita?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, shit, I ain't gonna say it's big, but you know, it's real for sure. Like it's some reputables from the town. It's some real reputables cross country veterans that come from the city of Wichita, Kansas. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna say too much on it, but you know, as far as myself though, how I even got involved, you know what I'm saying? Shit, just being young, being outside, being around who I was around, the type of women that I was attracting was already in that lifestyle. Now, when I was 17, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I was bumping into women that was already in the lifestyle, so I was really already around that type of shit. Then I ended up moving to Texas, moving right to a place where that shit was actively going on outside of my dwellings every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like 17, 18, 19 years old. So yeah, it's the game is omnipresent in Wichita for sure.
Nah, for sure. I respect it for sure. um, what would you say inspires you on a day-to-day basis?
Man, on an everyday basis, just want to have some more, want to be better than what I was yesterday. Seeing people outside having it their way, men and women, bosses that just doing things, kings like me and you, Nano, everybody that's living and thriving in their purposes and just really just being happy and shit. I love that, man. I don't have no hater bone in my body. I get a shirt off my back to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Without letting them know it was my last. If it was, shit, I want to see her. I thrive off that, bro. Good energy and good spirits and shit. That's what keep me going.
How did you develop a mindset like that? Because everybody, a lot of people might say that they're truly like happy to see other people win, but it's not always like that. But I can tell when you said it that it was some genuineness, and that's truly how you feel. So like, how did you develop that mindset to where you can get a joy and feel pride and be inspired by seeing other niggas shine?
I feel like it's in my blood, bro. I was raised like that. I feel like I was raised with my grandparents and shit. So shit, I always had lots of love around me, bro. Like growing up my whole life, I always had love. Like we played with the kids across the street. We jumped on their trampolines. We played on their basketball courts. We rode the bikes of the kids down the street. You know what I'm saying? It was hella love and shit. Within our community. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't never taught to hate on the next man. Don't be mad at them for what they doing. Why I'm mad at you? Because you put some 20s on your shit and mine still got factory. I can ask you, could you turn me on to the place so I can get me some 20s? You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
And then I go, shit, don't hate though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You talked about moving away from home at a fairly young age. At what point did you know it was time to move, and like how was that? You feel me, being a young nigga and leaving where you was from?
Shit, I knew it was time to get up out of there when my mind got on wanting to do better and be better than what I come from, and everybody was still stuck on the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Because when you trying to separate, when you trying to elevate, you get into it, it's obstacles that be in your face, and a lot of times it be the motherfuckers that surround you. It be the people that surround you, your own people sometimes, and crabs in the bucket. They want to pull you down and shit. I knew it was time to go when I started getting money and wanting to be better, because everybody ain't gonna support that. Everybody don't want to see you to the next level and shit. You know what I'm saying? And they'll do whatever it takes to stop that. So you got to get around some people that don't even know you from Adam or Eve sometimes. And sometimes that's going to be the best support you ever get. People who you don't know, you know what I'm saying, going to help you.
That's some real shit for sure.
People who don't know you, people who don't know you, ain't never been, don't know where you come from, don't know what you've been through, they going to help you because they don't have no judgment on you. They ain't got, shit, and that's sometimes what you need.
It always used to blow my mind that that shit was like that. I could not understand it because I'm like, shit, I'd rather help a nigga that I grew up with than help like
Bro, for real,
a random nigga I never met.
I get a shirt off my back to help somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like people where I come from too, my brothers, my people in my, my section, shit. I do whatever. I give them game. I tell them what not to do. The struggles that I had when I bumped my head, or I try to keep them out of the trouble I've been in as good as possible. You know what I'm saying? To where shit but it ain't like that everywhere though. Everybody ain't like that for shit show.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Since you've been making music, what would you say is one of the biggest lessons you've learned so far?
Like I say, shit, make sure you get your beats exclusive, man. Like, no, nothing against Soulja Boy and everything, but man, he took my song. You see what I'm saying?
Which is crazy as hell.
Which is crazy.
I'm still wrapping my mind around that.
Ah man, which is crazy, bro. Took the song and everything, but nah, it's all good. You gotta buy your beats, man. That's probably the biggest lesson I learned. Like exclusive beats over leased beats. Like work with a producer you got a relationship with, because that shit'll bite you in your ass on the back end, man. When that business part is real, when you dropping music, it's real. Like if you really want to be serious about it, you gotta be for real. That's a big lesson I learned.
If someone never heard a song from you, which song would you tell them to listen to?
Man, honestly, if you never heard a song from me, you need to pull up any streaming platform that you listen to music on, and you need to go to it and type Kingfish, and you need to hit shuffle. And I guarantee you're gonna in the first 3 songs at least you're gonna find something you like. You know what I'm saying? I got a catalog. I got a nice size catalog, man. Some songs to pick through there, but cause I can't just give you one. I got hella shit.
Yeah, nah, I respect that for sure. If you could relive your life, would you change anything?
Not at all. I wouldn't change nothing. Probably just I wish my grandparents maybe could have lived a little longer to be here to see me today. But I wouldn't change nothing, man. Shit, everything was smooth, solid.
Yeah. I respect that for sure too. Do you have any goals for the rest of the year, new year? Like what can the fans expect coming soon from you?
Yep, I'm about to drop a couple new videos off the tape. I'm still recording videos cause I got like 9 of them done. I'll just be shooting videos, but I'm gonna put a new tape together for the springtime. I ain't got no name or nothing, but I'm gonna put some new shit out for the spring.
Outside of music, what do you like to do?
I got kids. My daughter play basketball. My son, he do gaming and shit. So I'll be mingling with my kids a lot, doing tournaments and doing all types of stuff. If I'm not cutting hair, cause I got a barber license too, I'll be cutting hair on the side. Yep, if I ain't cutting hair and shit, or fucking with the cars. I got an old school I be fucking with too. I like cars and shit. But if I ain't mess with my kids, man, I'm doing music only. I don't do nothing outside of that.
What's your favorite car?
I like the 6'4" Impala. That's my dream car. I want one of them. I'm gonna find one day. But I got a '95 Caprice right now.
It's a classic too, though.
Yeah, the one that's on my album cover, that green one. So, yep, I like them though. I like older cars.
If you could pick yourself to be any animal in the world, what would it be and why?
I probably have to, man. That's a crazy question though, because I've been asked it before too. But I kind of want to be I probably have to pick a lion, man, because it's king of the jungle, man. Nobody gonna fuck with the lion. You know what I'm saying? Shit, stay out my way. I'm gonna stay out yours. Type shit.
Not sure. Since you've been making music, what would you say is the biggest lesson you've learned so far?
Man, outside of the beat situation.
Yeah.
The biggest lesson outside of the beat situation is knowing that you don't have to spend so much money on like features and shit, unless, because I had a couple features. I got a feature with Rio the Young OG, and I got a feature with RMC Mike. Yeah. And I dropped them on my tape, Iceberg Fish.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was worth it. You know what I'm saying? It was worth it to me because it made my music pop. It made my music go up a little bit within my section. You know what I'm saying? My music streams and everything. Still to this day, them songs are still some of the top streamed songs.
Yeah.
With RMC Mike and Rio, that's in my shit right now.
Yeah.
But so I can say that that was a successful move for me. But 9 times out of 10, doing stuff like that don't always be the move you gotta make.
Yeah.
You can do something else with your money. You know what I mean? You could invest in some advertisements or something for the shit you already got going on for yourself. You can get you some promotion. You can get you some any type of situation to where it's gonna pay off for you. I say shit. I had to learn money management.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for sure. I feel like, you feel me, with this shit, you kind of learn as you go.
Yeah.
But I don't think them features will hurt you. But
nah,
them is definitely.
Was dope.
You feel me?
They're the most streamed songs in my catalog right now. Still, and I got a large catalog.
But I do feel you though, cause some niggas do go so feature crazy. It's like, my nigga, you could have saved. You could have saved at least half of them features.
You didn't have to do all that, bro. And that really got that game from my brother 80. You know what I'm saying? Cause a lot of 80s features that he got from the Bay when I was naming, all that shit was like genuine and shit.
No, my mama,
you see
yeah.
What I'm saying, to where he was telling me like, bro, you ain't even gotta just go and do all that. Fuck with who, fuck with you and shit, and then fuck with, just build relationships.
Which is super important for sure. Do you have anything you want to address or say before you get out of here?
Man, follow me on Instagram, on all social media platforms, king_fish16. And for the independent artists that's working, I want to say stay down, man. Stay dedicated to your craft. Stay motivated. Don't let nobody steer you to quitting or make you feel like what you're doing ain't right or whatever. The negative criticism is still criticism, so it's still good. It's still as long as your name is, as long as you keep yourself in their face and keep your name going, you're gonna be good, man. That's for the independent artists that's working like myself. You can do it. Just tap in with podcasters and shit. Just touch down and do shit, man. Turn up.
For my final question, I want to ask you, what advice would you give to the younger Kingfish?
Man, the younger Kingfish, I'll tell him to stay out of trouble, man. Don't be high-headed. Don't be impatient. Don't let too much shit get to you. I would tell him to, man, just stay out the way. And I'll tell that to any youth, anybody that's young, like coming up through high school, ain't got no kids, ain't been in trouble with the law. You in first place, man. Even if you ain't got a whole lot of money, if you ain't got a whole lot of this or that, you in first place. It's niggas that'll kill to be in your shoes. It's people that'll kill to be young, no kids, and ain't ever been in trouble with the police. Keep that resume. Do whatever you gotta do to have that resume. What I just said, you ain't gotta be no extra crazy, in trouble, gangster, thug, whatever you wanna be. Just be you. It's room and place for you too. Shit.
No, straight up. I did want to ask you this before you go, but how has fatherhood changed you, and what has that been like?
Man, fatherhood made me a man. I ain't even gonna lie, cause I had my daughter when I was 18 years old. So shit, fresh out of high school.
I know you was nervous when that shit happened.
Nervous in the mug, bro. I was living with my grandparents and with my grandma at the time. Yup, and then I had to figure it out, bro. Like, I didn't know nothing. I was still working in fast food jobs, bro. I had just got out of that. I had to get myself together, figure out what I was going to do, bro. I went straight to barber college.
Oh, shit,
Straight to barber college, bro. Start cutting hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Got my license.
That's a bag for sure.
I had to think, like, what am I going to do? Like, right now, I can't just try to be El Pablo.
Yeah.
Just have my daughter and shit. I'm already in trouble and shit, too, with the people. I was already in trouble with the law. So I'm like, and I hopped out of high school catching felony charges. So it wasn't no games.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying, like, I got blessed to do 3 years of probation, bro. I got blessed and shit. So that's when I learned that ain't what I wanted to do.
Yeah, you like, fuck all that. I ain't trying
to be in trouble. I knew I didn't need to be tricked out the streets. I knew I had responsibilities, bro. I had a daughter now, and then I had my son 2 years later.
Yeah.
And my only 2 kids. And I was like, I knew I didn't want to be spreading kids everywhere. I knew I didn't want to be in trouble and away from moms.
Yeah.
I knew that, really. So that's when I just got my shit together. I started figuring it out, bro. And I'm still figuring it out to this day. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it changed me tremendously.
I respect that shit for sure. Yeah, I appreciate you pulling up. Can we just relax? Can you just talk about your chain? That shit been bust down the whole time.
Oh yeah, man! Shout out Sonny the Flawless, man, out in Dallas. He put this together for me, and my boy Gouda Jeweler, man. Shout out Gouda Jeweler. He took me to Sonny and helped me design the whole thing and shit. Put me together, man. Paper Made Team is my logo.
Paper Made Team Entertainment. Like, can you talk about that? Just and we can wrap it up after that.
Yeah, Paper Made Team Entertainment, man. My boy Ken Yada, rest in peace, Yachty G, him and my sister. They founded Paper Made Team back in 2016. It's a record label originally, rappers and everything from the city. I wasn't a rapper at the time. I was just, it was my sister's label, so I was around. We had merch and everything. It was a whole little thing, and then it dispersed. Then I picked it back up in like 2019 and changed the logo. I got a new logo, drew up and shit. And LLC, they revamped it and just kept it in honor of Yachty G shit, and just kept it going like that. I wanted my own entity.
Yeah.
I wanted my own shit. And I was like, what can I do? And my sister was like, run with Paper Made Team, nigga. You know what I mean? That was what you originally, we was on anyway. Yeah. So I stayed with that, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, I rock with it for sure. I wish you much success in the future. Keep doing your thing. Keep dropping music. Keep staying on it. I can see that you're dedicated and that you're going to put the work in.
Nah, for sure.
We got Kingfish in the building, Wichita in the building.
Shout out Innovators, man. Shout out L.A. Every time I come to Cali and L.A., y'all show me major love. It's like my second home. You know what I mean? I'm going to be over here. I'm going to be back fucking with y'all. Shit, and appreciate you, man.
Nah, for sure. Y'all make sure to tap in with all the music on all streaming platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, all that. Y'all make sure to tap in. Kingfish in the building. I appreciate you pulling up.
Major love.